Hi students, happy Thanksgiving. We are making Thanksgiving pie. The pie that I'm going to make right now is pecan pie. I have the recipe right here and I will be posting it in Schoology. Now pecan pie is pretty easy. It has a cup of Caro syrup, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and 3/4 of a cup is 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. That makes 3/4 of a cup. Or you could do a half of a cup plus 1/4 of a cup. That's 3/4 of a cup, a dark brown sugar. And when you measure brown sugar, you need to pack it into the container. And I will be showing that to you. 2 eggs beaten, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 cups of pecan halves. Now, I have whole pecans. My bag of pecans that I bought was $9, so pecans aren't cheap, nuts aren't cheap. If you buy halves, they're already broken. They're a little bit less, just because they're not whole, and whole, I guess, are price premium. What else did I want to tell you about that? Pies should be baked the day before, just because oven is so busy with the turkey. And I also know refrigerator space is at a premium. So lots of times, if it's safe, I will put things that I prepared for a holiday in the garage, where animals can't get it, obviously. Or I have even put it in my Mustang. You guys know that I have a Mustang. It's a 65 Mustang, and when it's cold, I'll just put things in the car and lock it, and then the next day I pull it out. But with that said, I'm going to start with my corn syrup. Now, corn syrup is sticky, so to combat that, I'm just going to spray the inside of the measuring cup with a little spray oil, and the sticky Caro syrup should come out just fine. Now, Caro syrup is a corn syrup, and there is 1 cup. I'm just gonna help it along. The next ingredient is 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. Now, the way you pack brown sugar, this is 1/4 of a cup, scoop it up and pack it down. And you'll know you did a good job packing it down when you put it in your bowl and it has the same form as the container that you measured it. So now I'm going to use a half of a cup, and I can hear my butter because it calls for 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm not going to forget. And I have wax paper to press it down. I don't want to contaminate the container with my germs. So I'm going to put it right in there. And my next ingredient on the recipe are 2 large beaten eggs and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. 1, 2, and 2 tablespoons of vanilla, teaspoons, excuse me. The measuring spoon pinched me. 1 and 2. And with that right now, I want to mix this up, and I'm going to pour it into my unbaked pie shell, the pie shells that I made earlier today. Now, the pecan pie bakes at 350 degrees for an hour, so 60 minutes. So it's nice and creamy. Here's my pie shell that I made earlier. And I'm just going to pour that in. Looks delicious. I love pecan pie. I don't know if I told you that. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 cups of pecans. 1, 2, 3. My sister-in-law, Mara, who comes over Every Thanksgiving, she brings a pecan pie. Why don't I bring a pecan pie? She makes a real fancy one. She puts chocolate chips in hers, and it's flavored with bourbon. Now, bourbon, of course, is an alcohol, but when you cook with an alcohol, the temperature of the oven will bake off the alcohol. So you are not getting any of that alcohol. You're just getting the flavor of the bourbon. I'm not professing drink bourbon. With that, I have squashed down my pecans and it's ready to go into the oven. So I'll put it right here on the stove top. And I have already baked a pecan pie. Get rid of this bowl. And as I said, I love pecan pie, so should be great. Just going to take my knife and cut through it. I think why I like pecan pie so much, I like how the pecans get candied in the baking process. Boy, and this crust looks delicious that I made earlier today. And you could have whipped cream on this pie. I wouldn't though. Look how nice that is. Just looks delicious. Actually, what I might have on this pie is a side of vanilla ice cream. That would be delicious. And I had a fork, but I used it for mixing my eggs. And why wouldn't I want to use the fork that I mix my egg? Because you're not supposed to eat raw egg. So I'm going to get some of the juice and my pecan. So good. Nutty, sweet. It tastes like Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, students. I wish that we could be together in the lab. But know that I think of when we're back together all the time. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.